Hello everyone. Today you will be working on CKLA Skills, Unit 1, Lesson 22. In today's lesson, you will identify nouns that name people and things. You will identify the correct vowel spelling to its sound. Let's start with blending. I will say sounds for you to blend into words. Mark each sound with a thumb finger tap. Blend the sounds together to make a word, making a fist with your hand. Get your tapping fingers ready and repeat after me. L-I-D, lid. K-A-B, cab. J-A-M, jam. S-T-U, stew. R-I-S-K, risk. S-P-I-L, spill. P-E-S-T, pest. Oil, broil. Great job. Now let's segment those same words. Hold up an equal number of fingers to the sounds in the word. Repeat after me. Wiggle your index finger for the first sound in the word. Wiggle your middle finger for the second sound in the word. Keep going until all sounds have a wiggling finger to match. Then repeat the word after me. Get your tapping fingers ready and repeat after me. Lid. L-I-D. Lid. Cab. K-A-B. Cab. Jam. J-A-M. Jam. Stew. S-T-U, stew. Risk. R-I-S-K, risk. Spill. Sp-I-L, spill. Pest. P-E-S-T, pest. Broil. B-R-O-I-L, broil. Good job. What do you remember about vowel sounds? Remember, vowel sounds are open mouth sounds. Vowel sounds can be stretched out when someone calls a name or when they sing. Every single word must have a vowel. During today's lesson, we will review consonant sounds. Most words contain consonant sounds, but a few do not. For example, the word I does not have a consonant sound. I is a vowel sound. Consonant sounds are made with parts of the mouth closed. This slows or stops the flow of air from leaving your mouth. Let's practice. Repeat the consonant sound after me. As you say this consonant sound, your mouth stays completely closed. Air does not flow freely from your mouth. It is released through your nose. Let's say the sound again. Repeat this consonant sound after me. When you say this consonant sound, your mouth is closed momentarily and then you open it to release a puff of air. Your air does not flow continuously from your mouth. It is stopped for a moment when your lips are closed and then it is released. Let's repeat the sound again. P. Repeat this consonant sound after me. Th. Say it again. Th. When you say this consonant sound, your tongue is between your upper and lower teeth. The air does not flow freely from your mouth. It is slowed down as it moves around your tongue. Let's repeat the sound again. Now, none of these consonant sounds are made with a wide open mouth, which is the way that vowel sounds are made. Remember, consonant sounds are made with a closed mouth. Now I will be reading some three-sound words that have one vowel sound. The vowel sound will always be the middle sound. Point to the correct spelling card for the vowel sound in the word. Listen carefully. Hop. Which vowel sound? O. You should have pointed to the O because hop says ah in the middle. Let's do another. Shed. Which vowel sound? Eh. You should have pointed to the E. Let's go faster. Pin. Gum. Cat. Bet. Top. Chip. Pat. Hum. Wet. Had. Were you able to recognize all of those vowel sounds? Now let's work on identifying nouns. Repeat after me. Ball rolls. Which word in this phrase names a thing? The word ball. The word ball is a thing. A word that names a thing is called a noun. Let's do some more. Today we are going to learn some more words that are nouns that name things. Listen carefully to the following phrases. Car starts. Which word in the phrase names a thing? The word car names a thing. A word that names a thing is called a noun. Big toe. Which word in the phrase names a thing? The word toe is a thing. A word that names a thing is called a noun. Red books. Which word in this phrase names a thing? The word books is a thing. A word that names a thing is called a noun. Fingers wiggle. Which word in the phrase names a thing? The word fingers is a thing. A word that names a thing is called a noun. Is the word fingers at the beginning or at the end of this phrase? Fingers is at the beginning of this phrase. Remember, a noun can be at the beginning of a phrase or at the end. Listen to the following phrases. Telephone rings. Which word in this phrase names a thing? Is it at the beginning or at the end of the phrase? The word telephone is a thing. A word that names a thing is called a noun. The word telephone is at the beginning of this phrase. Red bicycle. Which word in this phrase names a thing? Is it at the beginning or at the end of the phrase? The word bicycle is a thing. A word that names a thing is called a noun. The word bicycle is at the end of this phrase. Do you remember what we call a part of speech that names a thing? Now, let's introduce our story. We will get to read another story today from Snapshots, but today you will be reading the story on your own. Let's think back to our other stories we have read. What has Beth taken snapshots of so far? Where did Beth travel to with her mom? Who is she visiting? Hopefully you were able to answer all three of those questions about our previous stories. Today, we will read about a cat named Bud. Before we start reading, let's review these tricky words. This tricky word is have. H-A-V-E spells have. This tricky word is no. N-O spells no. You will see those tricky words in your story today, have and no. Let's preview the vocabulary you will see in today's story. Our first word is vet. A vet is a doctor for animals, like you see here. The word vet is short for veterinarian. The next word is cast, like you see here. A cast is a thick wrapping that surrounds a body part that has a broken bone. Vet and cast are our words you will see in the story today. We have now read sentences that end in a period and in an exclamation point. Do you recognize the type of ending that you see here in the green box? This ending is a question mark. A question mark is another type of punctuation that is used at the end of a sentence that is a question. You will see a question mark in today's story. Read today's story to learn about Bud the cat. When you are finished reading, you will complete worksheet 22.1. I will now show you the story. This time, you will read the story on your own. You have learned all of the words that are in these stories, so make sure you're doing your best and tapping out words that you don't know. If you need to pause or stop the video so that you can read at your own pace, make sure you do that. Remember to point to each word as you read. Now, guys, in your workbook, I want you to turn to page 22.1. That's 22.1 in the top right-hand corner. This is on page 133 and 135 in your workbooks. We will be working with both pages 133 and 135 today. Before we go on, do not forget to put your name on your paper nice and clear. Only put your name on page 135. This is the only page you will turn in. You will be cutting on page 133, so you do not need your name on that paper. Let's look at each of the sentences. The vet had to fix Bud's leg. Nat's mom let him have Bud. Bud had a bad leg. Bud sat in a box with a cast on one leg. All of these are sentences from the story, but they're out of order. Your job is to cut out each sentence on the dotted line, put them in order from what happened first in the story to what happened last in the story, and then glue them on page 135 in the correct order. So what happened first would go here, what happened second in the story would go here, what happened third would go here, and what happened last in the story would go here. Let's do the first one together. Which one of these happened first in the story? If you think back to the story, it told us that Bud had a bad leg first. That sentence came before any of the others. So you're going to take Bud had a bad leg, cut it out, and glue it right over here in the box number 1. Now, in the large box above that, you will need to draw a picture of Bud having this bad leg. So the picture needs to match the sentence you put in the bottom part. So I drew a picture. This is my picture of Bud. Remember, he's a black cat, and he has a cast on one leg, so I drew a cast on one of his legs. Do your best pictures and make sure they match the sentence. Make sure your sentences are in order of what happened first, next, then, and last. Do your best work. Now let's wrap this up. Now I want you to answer questions about the story you read today. Remember to answer in complete sentences. Question number 1, where did Nat get Bud? Number 2, what was wrong with Bud? Number 3, how do you think Nat felt about getting Bud the cat? And number 4, what part of the story shows how Nat felt? Think back to what page in the story, what part, what sentence shows you how Nat felt. To extend your learning, you can use page 22.2. You have the story Bud the Cat there for you. Read this story with a family member. Practice it over and over again so you know those tricky words and you know how to use those question marks and those periods. Goodbye. Let's not forget what you have to turn in today. You will turn in the story review for Bud the Cat. That's on worksheet 22.1, which is the front. Do not turn in the page that you cut out, only the page where you glued the sentences on and drew your pictures. Make sure you submit a clear photo of this worksheet in the assignments link on Canvas. Do your best work today. Goodbye, everyone.